Before the video starts, I'm sorry for the bad audio quality in some parts. This is my first video, so please enjoy. Thank you in advance. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Helmet. Now, this game, I believe, hopefully will become one of the best Roblox games of all time. And it is based on Ready or Not. The mechanics are based on Ready or Not, which is a SWAT breaching game. But in this game, you are part of the New Zealand Armed Forces. It's made by one person. All this is made by one dude. I will link his Discord server in the description, which I'm actually a part of. So, this game actually recently, just a couple weeks ago, came to permanent access. So, as this video is up, you should be able to play it. And unless that changes, and I'm sure I'll put out a thing if it does change. Now, I'm just gonna make a little tutorial for everyone. Yeah, hopefully you'll have already completed Foundation, which is just one of the basics of the game. So now, I'm going to just give you guys more tips. So I'm just going to an easy mission in a private server. And we'll go from here. So the first thing you're going to see is, when you get into a mission, you're going to see this. Now normally, in the other, I believe... No, wait, you did see it in the mission. I haven't played Foundation in a while. I'm sorry, guys. Loadout.pdf. So you're going to be level 1, assuming you have, just play the tutorial. So you only have access to the N2A1. I'm level 20, so I have access to everything. But the N2A1 is the basic firearm. It's pretty good. It says it has low damage. It's pretty good in PvE, which is, the basic game mode. And they did just nerf it in PvE though, and PvP though. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this game is PvP. So if you just want to get a little bit of XP and have some fun, go try PvP. Anyway, I'll go over some of the weapons we have. So the Velada. This thing, it's pretty loud, but it also costs the least amount. The N2A1, pretty cheap, but also, it's also pretty quiet. The K1889 is basically if the Mosin and the Car 98 had a baby. And this thing shoots bullets, one bullet at a time, only has 5 bullets. But if you press V, the V button allows you to use the weapon special ability. For example, with this, you can press V to hit people or bash open doors. The N8 ETD, based on the M14, looks like. I really like this gun. I believe it has 20 rounds per magazine, and you can swap between full or semi-auto. So it's good for PvP and PvE. The Vision OV4. This thing is also on the cheaper side. It has, if you press V, you can toggle night vision, which is really useful, especially in maps like the Covenant, which is the mission I'm doing now. H66A. It has pretty okay recoil control, 20 bullets, decent fire rate, but if you have a flashbang, you can convert it into a tear gas canister, which will knock out enemies and flush civilians out of the room. The Bianchi 99, I'm probably messing that up really bad. I actually don't really use this gun, so you guys are gonna have to figure that out for yourself. I'm really sorry. The N18A2 Hard Kill. Now this thing is the gun I'm gonna be using for this mission. It is it's a shotgun. It can swap between 2 different ammunition types. So it's good. It's an all-purpose gun. In fact, you can use beanbag rounds, which can stun hostiles and civilians. The Kelyata 11. Now this thing, it has a ton of recoil, but it has armor-piercing bullets. So I'm pretty sure you can shoot through armor pretty quickly with it. But try to use it semi-auto, and don't be a dum-dum and use full auto like I did. The H110. Now this thing was like the old version of the Kelyata, like when I first started playing the game. This thing can shoot through walls and doors, so be careful with that thing because you don't want to actually shoot a civilian. The Taser. Oh, it's semi-auto, by the way. This thing is, the H110 is semi-auto. The Taser. The Taser is non-lethal, so it just stuns them for the duration of the mission, and you don't get the XP bonus for tying them up because you can't tie them up when they're tased. The Medical Bow. Please don't use this. It heals your teammates for a little bit and can revive them from a distance, but it's only really useful in one part of one mission, and it takes up your primary slot. Plus, you have to have the Perturbator perk, and it takes 6, which is the cost of like half the good guns in this game. So, unless you're doing like a certain, unless you're trying to speedrun or something, please don't use it. And for secondaries, there are a few less to choose from, but they still have their own strengths and weaknesses. The Lehman N24. This is a very good starter pistol. It's free, and it leaves. Actually, it's still pretty good for intimidating, and just has like a sidearm. Just has really good fire rate. Ammunition box. This just has a ton of ammunition, but it only is usable once per match. So be careful with it. Don't overuse it. The Talon 81. Basically just the Chris Vector, but it has a suppressor. You can press V to take the suppressor off. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one. The BV-844. This one's weapons thing isn't suppressed, but if your primary runs out of ammunition, it'll automatically swap to it, which is actually a really cool feature. I haven't really got to try it out because I don't realize using that, but I'm sure I'll try it out in the future. The 42 caliber suppressed. It's suppressed, hence the name. I think, even though it doesn't sound suppressed, apparently it is. I think it says something about, yeah, intimidates quicker when aiming. I just use it because it did a ton of damage, but it's not that good because it only has 6 rounds and shoots pretty slowly. The KO8 Heavy. Now a lot of people don't like this thing. It's new. It's a new shield pistol. It's a shield pistol combo. I like it. Just don't. If you lean to the left, I'll show you. Your camera POV changes depending on what direction you're leaning. If you're leaning to the left, the laser from the gun will be blocked completely by the shield, so you have to be into the right if you're gonna aim at all, or if you're gonna lean to the left or right. The tablet. This currently has no use, so please don't bring it. It used to be motion cameras in the game. It used to be disable this. Now, the gadgets. If you're doing solo, please bring at least one zip tie, a camera gun, and a lockpick. That'll give you 10 budget right there, so you're gonna have to use a smaller primary. For example, maybe the N8 or the N2A1. But the camera gun allows you to check on the doors for traps or people. The zip ties allow you to tie hostages, and the lockpick never breaks, and it allows you to open doors silently. And then just bring flashbangs, or don't bring overcharge if you're playing solo. Basically, overcharge, the way it works is it gives you invulnerability for I think, like 10-ish seconds, maybe more, but then it instantly docks you down after. So you gotta be quick when you use it and make sure you're using it with a team. Hammers are good for knocking down doors quickly. They're good for speedrunning. Health pens heal you up really quickly, but if you use 3 of them, you overdose and get knocked down. Armor plates reduce a fraction of the damage. It reduces it by a flat 0.33%, and they can stack. So it multiplies the value of damage by, I believe it multiplies it by 0.33, but I could be wrong there. Sneakers basically allow you to run without making too much noise. The camera gun I just said, and the shield is basically bulletproof. Now, normally, the KO8 Heavy shield does not protect completely, it just reduces a large amount of the damage. Now, without further ado, once you're done, and once your team is ready, click on ready.exe, and ready up. I'm gonna skip the cutscene, because if you're playing this mission, you can see for yourself. It's just a bunch of yapping. So, you'll go load in. Now, if you remember the controls, it's T to toggle flashlight. You can scroll to change the brightness and intensity. And let's get moving. So the way you can tell if a door is open, if you can't tell if the door is open or not, walk.
Hello there.
That was unexpected. Sorry about that, guys. Press F to make civilians get down. If you hear a shout and then footsteps, look around because that means they're gonna try to stab you. And if you're playing single player, you will stab them back after a couple of stabs. But if you're playing multiplayer, you will not. I don't know why that guy just ran through. Anyway, as I was saying, you can tell this door is unlocked because if you walk over to the handle, you can see that there's a little icon. Now, normally, if this door is locked, that icon wouldn't show up. That's for disarming grenades. Also, if you need a wider cone of light, swap to one of your utilities. It'll give you a brighter cone than your grenade. Hold R to check your ammunition, and you can look down to see how many mags you have, or how many pellets or how many rounds you have if it's with a shotgun or a Mosin. Or not the Mosin. So see, this is the objective room. I'm not gonna spoil too much of this mission because if you're playing the game for the first time, you'll know the mission by now. This room is not unlocked, so we're going. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're in combat now. He's coming after me. So this guy's a face shield, so he's gonna get a bit harder to kill. Uh-oh. He's also... Guys with face shields are immune to...
I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
Ow. Well. Wow. Okay. That is a testament to how tough this game is. Guys with face shields are immune to flashbangs, so you will not stun them. They'll just be like, "What?" and then they'll look for you. They also take heavily reduced damage to their faceplate. That's a testament, like I said, that's a testament to how hard this game is. I mean, that's on the second lowest difficulty, might I add. Landing difficulty, which is also why I have the health, which is the battery, and the decibel meter. Oh, I forgot. This is a little Easter egg that can happen. See, it says just kidding. Yeah, so that's a very rare thing. So don't be alarmed if you get a blue screen when you're playing this game, unless it's actually a computer blue screen. Oh, I forgot to mention on higher difficulties, the decibel meter and the health meter will not be there. So you have to the lights in your helmet show you how much you have. Each one represents 1/4 of your health. There might be guys in here. So you always want to check your corners, which I did not do there. So if there's a guy, he could ice me right there. Suppress space to interact with the world, like opening doors, and press F to make them get down. And you press and hold F to use your equipment unless otherwise. For example, left and right click to use flashbang, and left click to use the camera gun instead of pressing F. Basically, you can use the camera gun once the little camera icon pops up. Right and left click do different things with flashbangs. Right click underhand throws it, and left click overhand. So left click is better for distance, right hand is better for accuracy. But the rooms are only about X amount of space, so no big deal. So you may notice I have a watermark in the top part of my screen. That is actually an Easter egg, or not an Easter egg. That's an Easter egg. That's a thing. You can earn money, or earn currency just for cosmetics now. And that's one of the cosmetics you can put a watermark on your screen. And I should mention this game does not have Game Passes. In fact, the Gato Creations people who make this game, the people who make this game have a no monetization policy. Which means that there's no Game Passes, there's no in-game currency. So if you like games like that, this game might not be for you. And that's probably gonna wrap just like the main tips. I will probably come up with another thing to add for just another minute or two. Actually, yeah, I'll give you some tips. So if you hear hissing behind the door, be very careful. Oh my goodness, be careful with that door because there is a grenade. Now, what you want to do is you want to check the handles if you think there's a grenade behind it. I'm going to actually show you how to clear a room really quickly. So, first you camera gun it. Camera gun the room. Then, pop the flashbang. Wait for it to go off. You make them all surrender. Now, combatants will occasionally go for their guns, so be careful. Tie them up immediately. Now, if civilians try to run, don't hesitate to shoot them. They put you in greater danger if they run. If you walk over NPC's guns, like for example, I just moved this over here. If you walk over them, you can glitch them out and actually kick them, so make it harder for them to get to them. So if you can't tie them up quick enough, you can do that. Now normally, if you grind the game enough and get the social engineer perk, you will make it so that hostages will not run away. Now, don't count on that, especially if you're new to the game. That's gonna take you a couple days, like a week or so at least. Now, there will also be combatants with gas masks now, as a new addition. Those guys are not affected by, from what I can guess, those guys are not affected by tear gas, but I've yet to test this. Those guys are not affected by the tear gas launched by the H6A. Like I just said, oh my goodness, guys. So, just don't use that. Don't use the tear gas. That's tear gas if you see one of them. And I think that's probably gonna about wrap it up for this mission, or this video. So, as always, safe travels, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next one. Oh, wait, hold on. Learning moment. You have a grenade. How can I tell? Because look, you always gotta look for where the handle is. This grenade. I'll show you how to disarm it really quickly. Epilogue, here we go. So, this door has now been unlocked. So, you press that to slightly open the door. Then, You're gonna push it open until you see the scissors icon. Hold space to disarm it, and then it'll be mostly inert. However, if an enemy or you shoots this, it will go off. So don't just say it's all safe. Be careful. Also, if an enemy opens a trapped door, and they blow themselves up, you will not get penalties. Because you do get penalized if you kill non-hostiles, you will not get penalized for that. So I think that's gonna about wrap it up for today's video, and I'm sure I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.